Guys, welcome back to another video on youtube.com, and we're doing something extremely stupid today. We're gonna map with negative rarity. I have a setup with minus 123 rarity. I have two Venter's Gambles with reduced rarity, and none of the rest of my gear has rarity on it. So there is something funny that happens in this game if you reach minus 100 rarity. Regular monsters can only drop white items, and blue monsters also. However, rare monsters will still be able to drop some blue items, and bosses will be able to drop blue and even rare items, but it's gonna be very rare. I'm committing to 15 maps because this is stupid. The goal of this is to farm white bases to sell in bulk. Stellar amulets are the big jackpot item. Those are 50 exalts in bulk right now. So if we get some stellar amulets, those will be cool. We are pretty much foregoing everything else though. We're not gonna find any rares. We're not gonna find almost any currency because we're just gonna be, you know, not up tiering anything. And in fact, we're gonna be down tiering. So there's not gonna be any divine drops, maybe barely any exalt drops. So it's just white base farming. So we're looking for breach rings, wands, good jewelry bases, good ES bases to sell to the crafters. I'm committing to 15 maps, and there is not gonna be much loot on the ground, but the loot that's gonna be on the ground is gonna be white bases, which hopefully sells in bulk. That's the idea. I set up a part of the atlas here with a lot of quant, so we still want quant. These are all like 60 quant maps, 60, 70 quant maps with breaches. And we're gonna be running T16s, T16 waystones only. So all of these maps are gonna be like T17 or T18, if they happen to be both corrupted and irradiated, but I don't even think we have any of that. So it's gonna be 17. My atlas is the same as before. I actually unspec'd this waystone up tier chance for the local knowledge, but it doesn't matter for this because we're not gonna be finding a lot of currency. I made a filter specifically for this. I added some custom rules for bases. These are the bases that I added. As long as they're 81, they will show up. I don't know if this is good. I don't know if all of these will sell. I will price check them in the end, but I think if you have bulk of any 81 plus good base, some crafter will want to buy it eventually. Or maybe not. Who knows? Another ritual. There is like 0 currency drops. This is our first exalt of the map. Like look how much we cleared. Look how my inventory looks. And we just looted our first exalt. There is no gumball that drops. Oh! First thing! Map number 2. Stellar Amulet. 50x, guys. It's working. Maybe we just got lucky. It's early. It's way too early to say, okay? But we got a thing where we already made like 60, 70x. Oh! Another thing. Holy shit. Okay. So far, every other map probably still lucky. We'll see. Do not conclude early, guys. Ooh. Ooh, uncut skill gem 20. Nice. Okay. Gems are also unaffected by rarity, so this could have dropped without this strat, of course. But that's cool. We are running high tier maps, 81, 82s only. Actually, some 80s. Some 80s and then mostly 81s and 82s. So that's good. I think that's a divine-ish. Oh, something tinged. What was it? Perfect jeweler orb? That was from a monster because it dropped off screen. Hold up. Confirm. Minus 123 rarity. Perfect jeweler orb can still drop. Wow. So there might be some pity timer or something, or they're coded differently, or they're not a regular currency item or something. That's crazy. Okay, that's good to know. That is good data. I'm really happy that we got that. That was 100% a monster drop because it dropped off screen from a Herald of Ice explosion. Wow. I have linked my currency tab to the prohibited library yesterday. This is how it looks after 10 maps. And I said, I know at least one of these exalts have 100% came from a chest. But I said, like, the others might have come from monsters. So, you know, monsters can still drop some good currency items. And poor Fish5, who is one of the lead researchers, in fact, one of the founders of the prohibited library, very dedicated fishing person, has posted this message right after on the public Discord. This is not a DM, I'm not leaking anything, this is on a public Discord. They actually went through my VOD, just looking at my inventory of when I found stuff, and they confirmed that none of these currency items came from monsters. This exalt came from a clasp hand, this exalt came from an excavated chest, this regal orb came from a rare chest, I know one of my exalts came from a chest. So the current theory is that none of these, at least, none of these currencies came from monsters. Everything was from a chest. So negative rarity is removing like all of the regular currencies, or not removing, but rather it's not up tiering them to, you know, actual good currencies. Okay, guys, we have finished 15 maps, and this is what we got. This tab and this tab. That's it. We only found 2 stellar amulets and 4 sapphire rings. The situation is dire, but let's take a look at you know, some of these bases and see if I can come up with some sort of pricing. Be right back, YouTube. After some deliberation, I have priced all of the white bases here on TFT based on other people's pricing, and if everything sells here for the listed price, which is what people are listing them for, that would be 629 chaos profit. The people have already expressed interest in all of my ones. I'm assuming for market price, but we'll look into that. I don't know if all of these will sell, but this is how much it's worth on the market right now. The more you farm this type of strat, the more bulk of bases you build up, and the more you can charge people for big bulks. I have only done 15 maps, but I can see where this strategy is kind of making the money, but you are giving up on all of the currency, basically all of the currency, if you do this. This exalts here, I converted some random stuff from my own tabs. So this is currency that is just instantly liquidatable, or stuff that we have found. So we have another 147 exalts here, which we will add up. We found 2.5 breach stones, which, let's see, current price. Oh, another 2 exalt of iron runes. Look at that. Breach stones are 97 at this moment. So we got another 97 plus 97 plus 47, whatever, half. 2.5 breach stones. We got a couple of catalysts, not enough to like really price, so I'm just gonna dumpster these. A couple of distilled emotions, 6 simulacrum splinters, not really enough to like count, so we'll put that aside. We have 2 stellar amulets that we have found, which are our only things. Well, and the fluke, perfect jeweler orb, which is still crazy. I can't believe we found that. We also found the level 20 uncut skill gem, which I think is 1 divine currently. So divines have spiked as of today. They're up to 149, 148x, and still rising at this moment. I don't know when that will stop, or if that will stop, who knows. But we found an uncut skill gem. We'll add a divine for this and take it out. We found 5 sapphire rings, which are chance bases, and people are buying them at 7x each, and they are selling them at 13x each. So we'll do 12 times 5, so 60 exalts of sapphire rings. Heavy belts are just a couple of x each, I think like 3x each or something, at 9x. And then stellar amulets are the big ones. So these are 50x each right now on like people will message, if you dump this into a 50x tab, people will message you for them. But in bulk, you can ask for more. And in fact, with big bulk, you can even ask for 70, 80x each. It is crazy. The gamblers, people want the Astromantis. So I don't think you sell these one by one. You wait until you find a couple. I have a couple here. Even if you have like 10, you can already ask for a lot more. But we can price these at 60 each for now, for these two. And move on. We have found 4 rare items in this entire 15 map session. 3 of them are breach rings, and 1 of them is a penetrating quiver. All of our rare items have come from chests or breach hands, which are chests. Because of our rarity, it is almost impossible for us to find rare loot because of our negative rarity. We found a couple of blue breach rings, 1 of each jewel, which I haven't priced, and all of these amulet bases, which I haven't priced. All of the bases are 80, 81, or 82. Most of them are 81 and 82. So, I mean, these could be a couple of exalts each as well, or you just, you know, gamble them with an alchemy or whatever. We also found a logbook, which is apparently 0.75 div each. That is crazy. Let's say 0.6, which is about 80 to 90 exalts for this one logbook. Someone told me that expedition farming pairs really well with negative rarity because you get more logbook drops. I don't know what the basis for that is. I don't know if that is true. I haven't done a lot of expeditions. If there is one, I blow it up and kill some mobs. But like, I think I've done like 2 or 3 expeditions during this and found logbook. Not enough data to make any meaningful conclusion, but we found the logbook. We'll add 85x for it. And that concludes our pricing, actually. Except we found the perfect jeweler's orb, but I think it's such a rare drop that I wouldn't add it to like a 15 map test. So I'm not going to include that in the numbers of like how much we made, but know that we have found this, and this is multiple divines. So if you know, this is like 300 plus exalts on top of this 1.4k that we made. And then we got, I think, 10 exalts of armor scrap. I think they're 3 to 1. Plus 3 exalts here, so plus 13x, and that totals up to 1,455 exalts, which at the current rates is 9.7 divines. That is if all of this sells, and remember, this was like 600 and something, so almost half of our money came from these white bases, which may or may not sell. Depending on when this video goes up and if I have data, I'll let you guys know if these sold or how much of this sold. But even if you sell like half of this, you made about 6.5 divines, which is pretty good for 15 maps. But you probably could make more by just having positive rarity and looting all the currency and all the other stuff that you can actually find. Maybe you get lucky with some rares. Here, you cannot get lucky with some rares. This is consistent white base farming. The more you farm, the more bulk you have. Maybe the more you can charge, especially with the stellar amulets. But we made 9.7 divs plus the perfect jeweler orb, which I didn't count.
Wow.
Over 15 maps, which is a 0.65 divine per map profit. I found the first 2 stellars pretty early, like a couple of maps in, we were already at 2 stellars, and then we haven't found any for the next 10. So, you know, maybe we got lucky early, maybe we got unlucky later. I don't know if this is the average amount of stellar. This is 1 in 7.5 maps for me. But this is very low sample size, you know, no giant conclusive data can be drawn from this. It is a viable strat, for sure. And if you have a lot of stash space and you don't mind doing these giant bulk sales of white items to gamblers or crafters or whatever, it is a viable strat. But just know that you're basically giving up on all currency drops. Maps still drop, tablets still drop, breeze splinters still drop, and it is an interesting strategy. And it's probably pretty cheap to just put on some low rarity eventers, and you know, you don't need magic fine on any of the rest of your gear, so you can go for a lot of damage. Yeah, that's all I got. Weird strat, probably scales better if you commit to it more, like for more maps, but I'm kind of missing the dopamine of the currency drops. It was nice to have some things from the stellar amulets, but that's not enough. Not enough things for me. Next.